Hey everybody, Rob here playing Mass Effect. This is episode 12. Right now, actually, we're not going to be doing an actual mission or going off into space at all. This is pretty much just us kicking it with the crew. So let's go see what everybody's up to. Joker?
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
Ship status report.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. Balance isn't what you'd expect. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Joker talks a little more in episodes, in Mass Effect 2 and 3. Not so much in this. Obviously, he usually just makes like a witty remark about the last mission that we just did. So let's go down. Actually, yeah, let's go down. So I know I already did this, but I decided to call the episode I don't really know, actually. I'm thinking I'm gonna call it Kicking It With the Crew or Chilling with the Crew, Questioning the Crew. Pretty much these will all be like, it'll be episode 12, but this will be part 1, and then if I do it again, it'll be part 2, and then part 3. Wow, super lag. Wow, really bad lag. What the hell? Let's go talk to Garrus.
Commander, how are you?
You and CSEC.
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Such as?
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
I don't know if we actually talked about this already, but just in case. Why?
He's not impressed that you're going after Saren?
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
A Spectre?
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Typical.
Spoken like a true CSEC officer.
Yeah, it's a speech I've heard one too many times. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Exactly.
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
Woot. Hey, Ashley?
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Sorry.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up, what's her name? T'Soni?
Why is that?
Liara. Why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her. I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
Is that what you think?
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her. Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on Family Mail.
Tell me about your family.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Tell me about your sisters.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Tell me about your dad.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mom?
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
Back home?
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Sounds familiar.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Tell me about it.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vidmails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Vidmails?
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Something changed?
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, 'cause he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you contact the police?
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
What about self-defense?
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
What about you?
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Dedicated, are you?
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him.
Oh.
The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Interesting story.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
You read poetry?
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
It's a good piece.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home.
Oh.
Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
From the afterlife?
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Of course not.
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something?
I totally believe that.
I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
How we doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about the worst place for a colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Alright, Rex, what's out?
What do you want,
What's
sir?
going on? Personal inquiry.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Elaborate?
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why leave?
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
Really?
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
And...
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up. To stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
what about Jared?
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind
I
us
think I
where
might
we
have
come
done this
from
one too.
and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
That's risky.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush,
yeah, I'm pretty sure we did this.
There are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Your father.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
I see.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
And now we talk to Tali. Hey girl, hey. Anything in here I can examine? Yep, elemental core.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
You seem happy.
Good to see you smiling again. So to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
Like what?
What are you hoping to find?
Usually, people bring back something like a derelict ship we can use for salvage. But I need something bigger. There's a lot expected of me.
Why?
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
You're royalty.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen, but it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
Preferential treatment?
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
I had no idea.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
I guess I'm just tired of people judging me because of who my father is. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
We don't want that.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Theron's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Theron. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Alright. See you later.
I should go.
See you later.
And then we go talk to Caden and Alejara. Come on. And then this episode will draw to a close. I'm not exactly sure how long it is. My timer isn't running, so hopefully it won't be too long. This is what I was saying I wanted to do, like, when we first started, and then it never, like, I never really did it, so... Anywho. I mean, I've talked to them before, but never just in its own episode. I don't want to talk to you, Chakwas. You're weird. You only say the same things. Liara?
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Are you okay?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She's the best.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Tell me more about you.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We're short-lived.
Well, we don't have the luxury of time. And the Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Intimidating?
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
Me?
Why me?
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
Could have asked.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
I want to believe that.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
It's not serious.
Williams and I are just friends, nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
I'm attracted to you.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
Don't analyze this.
Quit thinking like a scientist. Logic doesn't work when it comes to relationships. Just let yourself get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
Are you scared? No, that's why it's fun.
A little danger makes things exciting.
This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. You. I need some time.
It's a lot to handle.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Hitting on
Thank
Ashley.
you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
Or I could leave.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Word. I'm a two-timing bastard horde. I love it. Alright, Caden. You're up. Yep. Fully aware. I want to bang you so bad. Except not with this
Anything you need,
shotgun.
Commander?
Looking for personal input.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
Who's they? Okay.
And what do they think?
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Can't you retrofit to L3s?
Ever thought about going back under the knife? Maybe get an upgrade?
No thanks, Commander. One slip and you can't remember your own name. The L2s spike higher anyway. My abilities would drop with pain-free L3s. And it'd be a cold day before I turn myself over to a Canadic subsidiary.
Angry?
You distrust them that much?
You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified. Because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Canadics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Canadics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Experts?
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Canadics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
Why not the Asari?
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
But his training didn't work. But did his training work?
Well, you're a hell of a biotic, though. He must have done something, right?
Well, I got to where I am because I took initiative. Good or bad, I own that. Pretty much despite Canadics. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
Tactical appraisal?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach could take it. One of my cousins has an agribusiness. I was thinking of calling him. Maybe he can get some shipments into Pharos. I mean, now that they're cut off from the company.
Alright, see you later.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Alright, just make sure that there's nothing over here that I can... Nope. Alright. So, in the next episode of Mass Effect, well, I don't really know exactly what we'll be doing, because, I don't know. Actually, I'll probably end up going back to the Citadel. I don't know. Oh, shit, I didn't want to go down there. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing, because I don't know if I'm just going to get pulled into another random mission. I know maybe it might be like 1, maybe 2 more episodes before I do, yeah, I didn't actually want to do that. Thanks, though. Let's go back upstairs. Oh, jeez, what the hell is with this lag? Sure about that, because I'm either going to be doing another random looking for this person mission, or, what am I trying to think of here? The, go back to the Citadel to see if there's any missions there that might be, ready for me to do, other than the, Nasana Dantis one, which has connections to the rest. Maybe it's either 2 or 3, I forget which one. Pretty sure it might be 2? I don't know. But, we'll see how that goes. Like, I don't know if I open up the map if I'm going to get pulled into something. So I am going to save the game here, and I will see you in Mass Effect Episode 13, or in whatever other video you decide to watch next. I don't really have any advice this episode, since it was mostly just talking to the people, I guess. Just talk to your friends. See what's going on in other people's lives. Learn a little more about a coworker that you might not know about. Yeah. So I will see you later. Have a good week, everybody, and see you in 13.